So today we'll be going over Roman numerals. Roman numerals are letters that represent numbers in the Roman numerical system. So in this case, letters will be used to represent numbers. The Roman numeral I stands for 1, V stands for 5, X stands for 10, L stands for 50, C stands for 100, D stands for 500, and M stands for 1,000. Most Roman numerals are additive. Let's look at some examples. We're going to start with XXI. X stands for 10, X stands for 10, and I stands for 1. So if you add those up, you get 10, 20, 1. Let's look at the second example. LV. L stands for 50, V stands for 5. So we have 55. Next we have CLXV. C stands for 100, plus L, which stands for 50, plus X, which stands for 10, plus V, which stands for 5. So we have 165 if you add those up. Lastly, we have DI. D stands for 500, plus I, which stands for 1. So we have 501. Now, we know these numerals are additive because the largest number is first. So let's look at our previous examples. We have X, which is a 10, which is larger than I, which is 1. Second example, LV, we have L as our first letter, which is larger than V, which is 5. For our third example, our first letter is C, which is 100, which is larger than 50, 10, and 5, which stand for L, X, and V. For our last example, DI, we have 500. D stands for 500, which is larger than I, which stands for 1. Now, some Roman numerals are subtractive. Let's look at some examples. IV, where I stands for 1 and V stands for 5. So we have 5 minus 1, which is 4. For a second example, we have IX, where I stands for 1 and X stands for 10. So 10 minus 1 is 9. For our third example, we have XL, where L stands for 50 and X stands for 10. So we get 50 minus 10, which is 40. For our next example, we have XC, where C stands for 100 and X stands for 10. So we have 100 minus 10, which is 90. Lastly, we have CD, where D stands for 500 and D stands for 400. Stands for 100, excuse me, where you get 400. Lastly, we have CM, where M stands for 1,000, and C stands for 100. We have 1,000 minus 100, which is 900. Now, we know these Roman numerals are subtractive because the largest number is not the first letter. We have IV, where the largest letter is V because it stands for 5 and I stands for 1. In this case, we have IX. X stands for 10, I stands for 1, and X is not the first letter. Same in this case, where X is less than L because X, which is 10, is less than L, which is 50. Same with XC. C stands for 100, X stands for 10. 100 is larger than 10. 100 is not the first term in the Roman numeral. In the next example, we have CD. CD, in this term, D is the largest because it's 400 and C is 100. 400 is larger than 100 and D is not the first term. In this case, the first term is C, which is 100. The second term is M, which is 1,000. 100 is less than 1,000, therefore this Roman numeral is subtractive. Roman numerals can be additive or subtractive depending on whether the largest letter is first in the Roman numeral. I hope this video was helpful. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.